There are many theories and impractical solutions on how to get that girl you've always wanted, but not all of them are reasonable, and we don't want to give you all that BS. So, let's start with the basics before we get in depth. If you're anything like me, you've probably had at least one woman in your life that you wanted more than anything. Maybe she was your colleague in school, the girl next door, or you saw her walking down the street. Heck, maybe you guys even dated for a while before things ended. It doesn't matter how you guys met or what happened in the past. Right now, if you're watching this video, it's safe to say you're wondering how to get her back or how to make her want you. Sounds too good to be true, but there are a few ways that you can do this. Number 1, play the long game. Most of the guys that you're gonna find in the game are desperate, very desperate. They think that if they can get a woman to go out with them, the feelings will follow, but it don't work that way. Many men will fail at getting the girl of their dreams because they apply too much pressure during the talking stage. They come on too strong and needy, and they scare away the lady, and then later whine about being rejected. To solve this issue, try to be patient. It's all about the game. Try to take it slow, get to know more about this girl before you make your move. Now, I know we've been taught that it's important to go for a lady who will submit to your frame. However, both of you must have a common ground. She's also human, and it's gonna help if you have something that always pulls her in. In context, try to know anything that will help you unravel her personality. You'll be making it hard for her to turn you down. Number 2, give her your attention. This is what many gurus won't tell you. Many alpha males are always involved when it comes to spending time with their woman. Just give her your time whenever you're with her. Listen closely to her rantings and ravings, and don't just jump to providing solutions. Just hear her out. Whether or not you hear it from me first, you will hear at some point in your life that most women tend to love to talk, but not all women will open up easily. So if she's trying still to resist your advances, try asking her questions about herself before sharing some personal details about yourself. Just ensure that she does a lot of talking. In cases where she tries to flirt with you, don't respond to this right away. But don't pretend it didn't happen either. You can keep the conversation simple by asking for more information on what she said, or maybe sharing a similar opinion. That's going to make her crave more, and just watch how she will slowly fall for your charms. Number 3, don't take things too seriously. Picture this scenario. Let's say you take a girl to the movies, and it's always packed. The worst thing that you can do is find yourself staring at the screen for hours without talking to her. After the movie, she's gonna want to go home, and he is not gonna ever hear from her again. Now, imagine a different picture. She meets a guy who, from the beginning of his approach, makes it fun. He flirts, he teases, and responds positively. There are no flowers, interrogations, or love letters, or confessions of love. He doesn't care. He's just confident in his own skin. He knows that she still has her walls up, but he's not desperate. He's not afraid to fail, and he's not shy about it either. If it goes well, and he sees her not being too dramatic, talking negatively about guys, sex, or past relationships, he can press on. This could be you, but sometimes you have to come down from your high horse to get the girl. Break a joke once in a while. Make it fun, but also make sure that you know when it's time to be serious. Number 4, find out what she wants. I know, sounds super obvious, but I promise, some guys just don't get it. Every woman is different, and each one comes with their own needs. I know, surprising. Women are emotional beings, and most of the time they don't really mean what they say. Sometimes they would say they want a relationship, but their actions prove otherwise, so just watch what she does instead. Pick your cues from her actions and follow suit. She'll always be surprised when you can read her this way, and it will always make her come back for more. Number 5, be unpredictable. Now, being masculine doesn't mean you gotta be stoic all the time. One thing that women love about alpha males is the level of mystery that surrounds them. They're not able to pinpoint what he's gonna do next. Now, here's a twist. Try to surprise her in a good way. Now, this isn't only tied to money. Other guys have been doing that for years, and it still didn't work out. Sometimes it's those little things that you notice and do for her that are gonna make her want you. Find those things and watch how she falls like a pack of cards before your eyes. Number 6, focus on your body. As a man, working on your body is very important. You already know this. Women are attracted to a guy who's toned. Not always jacked, but toned. Guys who hit the gym will always have an advantage over guys that don't. Number 7, walk the talk. Nowadays, everybody wants to identify as an alpha male until it's time to actually do what alpha males do. Don't just stop spilling some truths about the red pill or masculinity. Start acting like a man. For instance, don't speak in a monotone voice or mumble your words. Stand with your eyes in the horizon. Be confident, and when she comes into the room, don't be afraid to call her out when she walks into the room. Number 8, have a fun nature. We always want to be around people who make us feel good, and the same thing goes with women. If your crush sees that you're always having a good time, she's going to want to spend more time with you. But if her first impression is that you always look grumpy or sad, I promise she's going to run away, and she won't even actually find out who you are. Number 9, keep her engaged. If you really want to impress her, you need to be able to hold a decent conversation with her. Don't ask boring questions like, "Have you eaten today?" or "What'd you do yesterday?" Come up with engaging questions of your own and then give that room to talk. If she tells you she loves singing, ask her if she's ever auditioned for a singing competition or maybe she was in theater in high school or something. Then talk about her favorite artist and why she loves one over the other or anything interesting in that field. That's going to help her see that you're interested in who she is, not because she's hot. Number 10, don't be boring. While we've said that the spotlight should always be on her, if she throws a question at you, don't give one-word answers. Tell origin stories about yourself. It's okay to be shy at first, but try to loosen up as the night goes on. In time, your crush will begin to see that there's more here than what she's seeing. Now that we're done with the basics, here's 13 golden rules to follow if you really want to leave an imprint. Number 1, try not to be the first to say "I love you." Women who are attracted to chads know it takes a lot to win their hearts. They're so obsessed with the challenge of capturing the interest of a man who has other women competing for his attention. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Once you're the first to express your love to a woman, they stop chasing you to gain your approval because they know that they have you. Instead of allowing her to rob you of your power, the best way to tell a woman you love her is by advancing physically. In other words, show, don't tell. Take actions that show her that you want to be committed, but you're still not sure about it. Your actions will always keep her guessing and thinking about you. However, there's a balance to it, so only do a little to keep you away from the friend zone. Number 2, make her jealous. No matter how composed she is, when a woman is provoked to feel jealousy, she can be as fierce as a wolf. Jealousy can make any woman feel like she should protect the man that she likes from potential competition. One of the ways that you can do this is by appreciating other women in her presence. That is a big switch to instigate jealousy. In addition, you're going to need to show that you're happy and inspired even without her. In time, as she slowly begins to notice, she'll see that if she continuously neglects you, then someone will be there for you. You'll slowly begin to notice the change in her moods and facial expressions. If she's really obsessed with you, she's going to try to flirt with other guys, check your phone, and sometimes admit that they don't want you to do the things that make her jealous. Focus on yourself, not her. That's number 3. In the manosphere, we have a saying, "Those who show hunger don't eat." I bet you've seen models on the runway looking all bored and detached. That sense of focus they have makes people want to be like them or associate with them. It's called nonchalance, and it portrays independence, status, control, security, and emotional availability. These are the traits that women look for in men, but it comes from you focusing on what's important to you and learning to be alone. Be the source of your own happiness, and the woman you've always desired will come to you. Using her as a source of entertainment or a crutch for your personality issue will not last. Number 4, never play by her rules. Because girls are trained to play hard to get, they're trained to never give in to a guy that easily. If they do, they will feel cheap. So in cases where they like you, they'll always try to test you, and this seems to be at the top of the list: power. If you allow your woman to make the rules, she will resent you. Every woman you see wants to be led by a strong man. Polarity will always be at the core of every healthy relationship. No woman should walk over you with her demands or, better yet, her emotional tantrums. Think of yourself as a mountain against the wind of her insatiable appetites. And when the time comes and she needs a strong shoulder to rely on, it should be you who's there, strong, solid, and unshakable. Number 5, apply the golden ratio every time. Ratios can be defined as the proportion of one thing to the other. You already knew that. It's like knowing how much Jack Daniels to add to a Coke to have just the right balance of sweetness and potency. Now that we got that out of the way, let's put it in context. The majority of men in relationships today genuinely love their woman, and the reason for this is simple. Those men initiated their relationships. Sadly, most women in these relationships are not in love with their man. They just accept their advances to either cure boredom, loneliness, or poverty. Most of these ladies date for convenience and not for love. That's why they're so easily bored or more likely to break up with their partners. So where am I going with this? Doing too much can be a turnoff. But the game changes when she's the one who's more invested in the relationship. Give your woman 2/3 of what she gives you. For every 3 calls or texts given, return 2. Now I know what you're saying to your screen. Mr. YouTube man, is that not toxic? No, it's not. It's the only way that you can last in this game. Refraining yourself from doing too much instills in her a proper attitude of belief in your higher status. Deep down in her mind, this is what she really wants. Number 6, always keep her guessing. Women will always ask questions that they don't directly need answers to. Many men fail to answer these questions. Whenever you find yourself in that situation, evade, tease, and avoid the question by all means. Psychologically, women are okay when they have to imagine what you're thinking about them. They're okay. Sadly, they tend to get bored immediately when you tell them what they want to hear. As a man, you gotta find a way to maintain the balance, and then you're good to go. For instance, if she disrespects you, punish her immediately, and if she makes you happy, reward her slowly. Reward her slowly or unpredictably. She won't get tired of pleasing you if you do that. Number 7, have a lot of options. The moment you start thinking that there's only one woman for you, that is the day you start losing the game. Having other romantic prospects or potential partners to choose from suggests that you don't really have the time to waste on her. And just so you know, women want what other women want. So until she bends to your will, keep your options open and don't commit to her. Number 8, only say sorry when it's necessary. Don't say you're sorry for every little thing you do. It's considered as the get-out-of-jail-free card for simps. Now, neither of these things are a direct result of a simple messing up. They just want everyone to like them and will always bow down to every negative confrontation. It is a posture of submission, and no man should reflectively adapt to this. With women, apologies increase the demand for more apologies. She will come to expect it from you every time, and then you'll slowly watch your value fall in her eyes. As a man, you can only say sorry when you've really messed up. Did you forget her birthday? You overslept and came to work? Bumped into a woman at the bar and spilled her drink? Sure, say you're sorry. Sorry should mean, let me fix this, to every man. You spilled her drink, buy her another. That's how men apologize, with action. Saying sorry is not about what others think of you, but what you think of yourself. Number 9, be emphatic and connect with her emotions. Learning to connect with women's emotional landscape will go a long way in setting you apart from other guys. Try to be playful and also listen to the things she isn't saying. Now, I know this might be a bit contradictory because I initially said you should focus on yourself, but this is very important if you wanted to think about you, and it's not that hard once you understand it. All you have to do is establish a bond of empathy at some emotional level. Show her that both of you are of like minds and moving emotionally in the same direction. To add balance, connecting with her emotions doesn't mean that you should agree with everything she says. You still have to offer your own insights, which may probably conflict with hers. Believe me when I say this, your woman doesn't want you to agree with her all the time or have no opinion about an issue. Sometimes she may not be thinking correctly, and that's where she needs you to guide her. Number 10, ignore the things that make her beautiful. That's why a lot of dudes don't get laid. Beauty has made many men put women on a pedestal. No matter how red-pilled you are, you always fall for this, but you need to devalue her beauty to increase your value to women. A woman's beauty will always challenge your frame as a man, and it can be hard to keep it together. overreact, and it is game over. As soon as you begin to think that she's more special than you, you're relegated to the friend zone division. In reality, she doesn't want to be the prize and show you off to her friends. The common strategy to solve this is by talking to them like how you talk to your sister, and also raising your sexual market value. As you do this, you'll slowly begin to realize that beauty is only skin deep. Knowing the truth will create an aura around you that'll make her attracted to you. Number 11, maintain your frame. Frame is the core aspect of the game. If you lose your frame, you will lose the tingles. Just like I said earlier, you need to be strong against her winds of tantrums. You need to stand your ground and maintain your calm. Eventually, the discomfort she may experience over your initial stubbornness is only temporary. Comparing you with other guys who fall for her traps whenever she gets emotional is going to make her fall for you. Number 12, dig her guts until she bursts. Sexual imprint is real, and if you want to get a girl to come back to you over and over and over and over again, you gotta bang her brains out. It's not necessarily easy to do, but if you do your best, you will win her over. Women love sex, and if you're good at it, she's always gonna come back for more. And the longer and more passionate the sex becomes, the more powerful the reinforcement and interaction becomes. In the end, it becomes hard for her to leave you. And let me give you a little unwarranted tip that all guys should know. Okay, if you're worried about lasting a long time in bed, as most guys are, I myself have lasted anywhere from 30 minutes to under a minute. So if you're worried about that, just eat her out first. Blow her mind, make her come 2 or 3 times, and then she's not gonna care what happens next. She's gonna have a good time, and you are going to make her remember you. Dude, she can come 8 times in one night, potentially. You got one. Number 13, never be afraid of losing her. There's a lot of hot girls around, and yet so many guys seem to pedestalize every girl they have a crush on. Whether that's due to emotional inadequacies, not having enough value as a man, or being too lazy to get more options, don't be that guy. If you're a high-value man, you will always have girls at your beck and call, even when you don't have established options yet, so do not worry about screwing up with one girl. I promise you can find a new one with little to no effort. Alright, that's it guys. Straight up non-bullshit advice. So, drop a like and comment your thoughts, and click on the next video to learn more about females.